Hello and welcome to this hour-long yoga flow practice. This morning we're going to be focusing on all things about steadiness. So to begin, let's just find our way into a comfortable seated position. You could have your legs crossed, you could sit on your heels, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And we're going to take our hands into lotus mudra. So I'd like you to bring your thumbs and little fingers or the outer edges to touch, almost like you're going to catch a cricket ball. It's probably a good way to describe it, or otherwise you're sort of making that lotus shape with the hands. So if you can rest your thumbs just gently into the sternum and soften the chin toward the chest. Allow your eyes to very gently close. So just beginning to tune into your body and tune into your breath. Just take a moment here to pay attention to what's going on for you today. Noticing both the physical aspects of the body, but also what's going on energetically here. The reason that I've chosen for us to work with Lotus Mudra this morning is because the symbol of the lotus is all about the light and beauty emerging from darkness, and it's also about staying connected to your roots. And if you've already joined me for a practice this week, we've been talking a lot about grounding. It's springtime, there's lots of high energy around us, which directly affects how we feel in our nervous system, our behaviors. So it's really important at times like this that we do feel a connection to our roots, to the earth, and also to all of those qualities that being grounded exudes. That sense of being steady, being still, feeling connected to kind of like the rich tapestry of life, I guess. And today, talking specifically about steadiness, we want to try to find that steadiness both in our physical body, but also in our energy as well. I was reading the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras yesterday, and if you're not familiar, it's sort of like the Bible of yoga, essentially. And in there, they talk about steadiness leading to samadhi being enlightenment. It's a big jump. But in the first instance, we need to find physical steadiness in the body. So feel that your body is steady, feel that it is still. And notice how that already allows our energy to begin to slow, begin to ground. And now let's start to take control of our breath. So beginning to lengthen your inhales. Feel them traveling all the way down toward the belly, expanding through the abdomen, rib cage, all the way up toward the crown of the head. And then on your exhale, having that sense of very gently drawing belly button back to spine, emptying your lungs. And keep that going. So nice deep breaths in, expanding throughout the belly, throughout the chest. And long, extended exhalations. And perhaps you're bringing in your Ujjayi breath here, creating a restriction in the throat so that you can hear yourself breathing. Relaxing your shoulders and unlocking your jaw as you breathe in this way. So our breath is another route to that steadiness, that stillness of energy. Day to day, normally we're breathing quite shallowly up in the chest. It sends our energy all over the place and we can feel fearful. We may feel anxious or perhaps overwhelmed. So again, using our pranayama, using our breath work to begin to control the prana, the energy in our body, drawing us a little closer to steadiness. Once we've started to control the energy, we then look to control the senses and eventually reach that enlightenment state, but perhaps we won't quite get there today. So let's stay with this deep breath. And as we progress through our practice today, I'd like you to think about observing your body, observing your breath at times where everything goes a little bit shaky, a little bit wobbly. As always, a sense of trying to avoid getting caught up in those shakes and wobbles, but see if you can just observe them. And notice if you can observe them like another person looking inwards, then perhaps the energy does start to become a little bit more still. Take a couple more moments here. You can use this as your intention for your practice today, but if there's something else that's resonating with you right now, please feel free to just set yourself that intention, to breathe deeply into that intention. Keep that deep belly breath, that ujjayi breath going. And when you're ready, gently start to flicker your eyes open. So since we're in our lotus mudra, let's just start to warm up through the wrists to begin. So if you start to almost roll the backs of the hands around one another, you'll feel the wrists starting to loosen and starting to open. So just nice and gently, nice and steadily. And we'll take those rotations back in the opposite direction as well. Well done. Okay, finding stillness, give your hands a good shake out, let it go. And from here, place both hands facing downwards on the thighs, and we'll begin to move through some seated cat-cows. So in time with the breath, inhale, sweep the shoulders up to the ears, squeeze them back in together. Heart space moves forwards, gaze lifts to sky. And then as you exhale, round the shoulders forwards, draw in the belly and arch through the back body. Keep moving like this. Inhale, shoulders drawing back and together. Chest opening, gaze rising. And exhale as you round. Draw belly button to spine arch through the back of your body. Keep this going, big breaths in. And long extended breaths out. Good, 3 more rounds in your own time. Maybe closing off the eyes. Again, checking if there are any spaces that are feeling a little bit wobbly, tight or tense. Just see if you can observe that. See if you can send some of that deep and controlled breath into that space. And after the end of your next exhalation, start to make your way back to your neutral spine, midway between cat and cow, soften shoulders from ears. Let's begin to take some rotations through the torso now. So when you're ready, big breath in, send the chest forwards, sweep it round, almost like you're trying to roll your torso around the drum of a washing machine. So you're sending the chest forwards to the side and back. And you're maybe starting to feel a little bit of an opening up through the hips, through the low back, the spine, and perhaps even the shoulders as well. Excellent. And begin to take that rotation back in the opposite direction now. maybe you're still moving in time with breath. There could be an inhale to come forwards and exhale to move backwards. Excuse me. Good, gently start to find your way back to your neutral seat, and we'll find our way onto all fours here. So just continuing to warm up the wrists, I'd like you to come onto your all fours, stacking your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and we'll be taking the fingertips out to point in the direction of the outer edges of the mat, and just gently start to take a sway from left to right. Again, moving in time with breath here. So inhale, sway to one side, exhale to go back to the opposite side. Try as much as you can to prevent the palms of the hands from lifting up, the heels of the hands from lifting up and away from the floor. Well done. Continue to spiral the hands round, now facing fingertips towards your knees, or as far around as you can comfortably go in your personal range, and begin to take your rocks back and forwards. So avoid lifting the heels of the hands away from the floor. Keep them planted, grounded down. And on your next exhale, sit the bottom as far back towards your heels as you comfortably can, and just pause there for a moment. Inhale, allow your breath to travel all the way down into the front of the wrists. And exhale, think about softening into that space, relaxing your shoulders and your jaw. Well done. Inhale, come all the way back forwards, release the hands, just sit back onto the heels or onto your seat for a moment and give your wrists, your hands a really nice shake out. Well done. Good. Come back to your all fours. We'll take it into Anahatasana this time, puppy pose. So keeping your bottom stacking over the top of your knees, start to walk your hands forwards and allow your heart space to drop down toward the floor. So forehead touches down to the mat, or maybe if you're quite open through the chest, you can take your chin to the floor and have your drishti toward the top edge of the mat. So just see with each exhale, can you allow the center of your chest to sink down toward the floor a little bit further? Keep lengthening your inhales and slowing down your exhales. Just see on your out breath, can the heart space drop a little bit lower to the floor? No force, just gravity drawing you down. Breathing into that deep opening through the thoracic spine, the upper back. Excellent work. And then inhale, walk the hands back towards you, come up onto your all fours. And from here, we'll rock the shoulders forwards of the wrists and just gently come all the way down, belly and chest moving to the floor from here. I'd like you to sweep your arms out alongside you, almost like you're in a crucifix shape here. In fact, no, take your left hand out in front, reaching fingertips to the top edge of the mat. I'm going to thread the right arm underneath your left. As you do that, you're bending your left knee. It comes up in line with your belly button, and then you're sweeping your left arm back behind you to find your way onto your back to find a twist. If possible, see if you can get both shoulder blades on the floor. It doesn't matter if that left knee lifts up a little bit higher, but just see what feels good for you here. Deep breath in, long breath out. Good. Next, inhale, straighten the left leg, spiral your chest back down to the floor. Press the mat away with the left hand so you can unthread the right arm and take it to the second side. So left arm threads under right. Bend the right knee, it lines up kind of roughly with your belly button, and then you can sweep your right arm all the way back behind you. So again, you're in that nice deep twist, lying on your back. See if you can get both shoulder blades down to the floor. So the right knee may lift away, and then perhaps as you breathe here, the right knee will come a little bit closer to the floor again. But Again, think about just letting gravity do the work here. Try not to force yourself into it. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Good. Use your next inhale to spiral all the way back down, flat to the floor. This time bringing the hands underneath your shoulders. Now, if you want to up level this, curl under the toes to lift your knees away from the floor. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, squeeze elbows to side ribs as you come up through a reverse plank, and then find your way back into your downward facing dog. So having a few moments here just to feel into your down dog. How is it for you today? Gazing back toward the feet, perhaps you're pedaling out through the feet here. Just starting to open up into the hamstrings, into the calves. Keep the shoulders soft away from the ears. Jaw is relaxed, maybe even closing off the eyes. See if you can let go of the neck a little bit more as the eyes close. Good, start to find stillness through the body, that sense of steadiness here. On your next big inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet, draw belly in, finding your way forwards into a high plank and pause there. Exhale, soften both knees, hover them away from the floor, press chest back to thighs, downward facing dog, rippling through the spine. Keeping that going, big breath in, rippling upper body forwards, finding your high plank, drawing in the tummy. Exhale, soften the knees, hover the knees away from the floor as you push back to downward facing. Twice more. Inhale, coming all the way forwards. Exhale, pressing yourself back, opening up through the shoulders and chest. Last time, inhale, come forwards. Rippling your body like a wave. Exhale, soften the knees, press the chest back to thighs, bottom high, big breath in. Deep exhale, let it go. Okay, take a little gaze towards your hands. Soften into your elbows slightly, hug the elbows into the center line. I'm going to do a couple of little turbo dog press ups here. So big inhale, exhale, take your elbows all the way down to the floor to tap. See if you can do this at the same time. Inhale, exhale, press through the palms of the hands, lift the elbows away from the floor, downward facing dog. Twice more like that. Inhale deeply. Exhale, soften elbow creases. Take the elbows down to the floor, come onto the forearms. Inhale. Exhale, press through the palms and lift all the way back up. Really, really good. One more time. Inhale deeply. Exhale, soften elbow creases. Take forearms to floor, moving both elbows at the same time. Inhale. Exhale, lifting both elbows back up at the same time, downward facing dog. Excellent work. Inhale, soften both knees, look forwards and gently walk your feet towards your hands, finding yourself in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Keep the knees soft, take hold of opposite elbow here and just gently sway yourself from left to right. Allow the weight of each hand on the opposite elbow to traction out through the back of your neck, through the upper back, and just breathe nice and deeply, nice and slowly, unlocking the jaw, relaxing through the neck. Excellent work. Gently find stillness, release grip on opposite elbow, big inhale. Exhale, draw belly button to spine, slowly, gently coming all the way up to stand. Tadasana at the top of the mat. Turn your palms to face forwards, feet stepping together, big breath in. Long exhale, feel belly button drawing to spine. Good. Next inhale, sweep both hands up above the head and turn your drishti, your gaze, to your thumbs. Exhale, soften your knees and forward fold over your thighs. Inhale, step just your left foot toward the back of the mat. Nice long step and lower the left knee down to the floor. Lizard lunge, right hand comes to the inner edge of right foot and you can heel toe the right foot out in line with the outer edge of your mat. Deep breath in here. Exhale, option to soften the elbows and sink slightly deeper into the front knee. Try to soften chin to chest and relax the shoulders here. Well done. If you want to come into a twist, keep left hand grounded and sweep your right arm toward the wall behind you. You may even be able to take hold of the top of your foot here as you find your way into a quad stretch. If it's possible to lower down onto the left elbow, you're very welcome. Take a deep breath up into the right shoulder. Draw it back and away from the ear and turn your heart space a little bit further to face the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the bind if you have it. Sweep the right hand down to the floor. Come back up onto the hands. So we'll move into scandasana from here. I'll face this way. So I'd like you to curl under the back toes to lift the left knee away from the floor. Now from here, ground the back foot down to the mat and see, can you sit the bottom toward the right heel? This might not be possible for everyone, so you can stay in your runner's lunge position if you prefer. Otherwise, you're going to take the right hand down to the floor and stretch your left arm up toward the ceiling. Deep breath in, again thinking about rolling left shoulder back. Exhale, option to take left hand behind you and maybe see if you can find a bind here. Keep that sense of really pressing the mat away so you're lifting up through the torso. Another big breath in. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Come back up onto the ball of your back foot and lower the left knee down. Low lunge this time. Inhale, sweep your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, squeeze the bottom, sink a little lower into the front knee. Any sensitivity in knees, keep right knee stacking over left. Otherwise, see if you can sink pubic bone down toward the front heel a little bit further. Inhale, reach up into the hands. Exhale, squeeze the bottom and take a little back bend from here, stretching through your fingertips. You might be gazing up toward the sky. Excellent job. Big breath in. Exhale, lower your hands either side of front foot. Step back to high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently lower knees, chest and belly down to floor, squeezing elbows tight to side ribs. Inhale, cobra, lift the heart. Slide shoulders away from the ears as the chest rises. Exhale, come down. Tuck toes, find your way up and back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale, soften the shoulders and relax through your neck. Good. Next, inhale, step your left foot between your hands, lower the back knee down. Again, left hand comes to the inner edge of left foot and the left foot can heel toe as wide as the mat here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, squeeze the bottom, sink down through the hips a little bit lower. Option to find your twist. Left arm reaches toward the wall behind you, open up through chest. If you're binding, bend the back knee, take hold of the top of the right foot and gently start to draw the right heel slightly closer toward right butt. Keep thinking about rolling left shoulder back behind you. You're welcome to come down onto right forearm if that feels good. Relax your neck. Good. Gently release the bind. If you have it, spiral both hands down to the floor. Tuck under the back toes, lift the back knee. So remember, you're welcome to stay here in a little runner's lunge stance. Otherwise, you're going to ground the back foot down to the floor, sit the left butt down toward left heel, scandasana. Left hand toward the mat, right arm to sky. Lift up, open up through the chest. Big breath in. Good. Exhale, option to wrap right hand behind low back. Maybe left hand joins as you find your way into a bind here. Nice deep breaths down into the hips. Keep pressing the mat away strongly with the sole of your left foot. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale, gently release the hands down to the floor. Spiral them both to the mat and lower the right knee. Low lunge. Inhale, stretch up through the arms. Exhale, squeeze your butt, sink a little deeper into the front knee. Remember, if knees are sensitive, keep front knee stacking over ankle. Otherwise, sink your hips even lower if you can. Inhale, lift up of the low back, reach through the fingertips, take a mini back bend from here. Gaze maybe traveling up toward the sky, finding like a crescent moon shape between our fingertips and our back toes. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Step forwards into a forward fold. Drishti to belly button. Inhale, lift the heart space, flat back, hands to shins or fingertips on the mat. Padangusthasana, take your first 2 fingers and your thumbs and wrap them around the big toes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend your elbows wide and sandwich your torso onto your thighs here. Rocking the weight forwards into your toes. Nice big breaths. Now this is often a space for me where I get that wobble going. I can feel the prana in my legs shaking. So if that's the case for you too, close the eyes and just observe. Try not to get caught up in the sensation. Try to find the steadiness in simple observation here. Or maybe you're rooting down into the steadiness that your feet provide. Pressing through base of big and little toe, inner and outer heel. Another couple of big breaths here. Simply observing what's happening in your body. Excellent. Inhale, lift the chest to find flat back. Bring fingertips to hips and come all the way up to standing. Excellent. Step the feet together, Tadasana, turn the palms forwards, deep breath in. Exhale, draw belly button to spine, spread fingers wide. Inhale, stretch the arms above the head, gaze up to your thumbs. Exhale, soften your knees, forward fold over your thighs, coming into your forward fold here. Now inhale, sweep your left leg up toward the ceiling to find a standing split. Keep pressing strongly through the right heel and pointing through left toes as though you'd like to tap your left toes onto the ceiling. Deep breaths in. Again, feeling the steadiness through the right leg here to allow you to stretch your left leg slightly higher. Inhale deeply. Exhale, step the left toes back to the floor behind you, finding high lunge through the legs. So press down through the front heel and reach the arms up alongside the ears. As you exhale, bring your right fingertips to touch onto the back of your left thigh. Reverse the arms. Breathe in, stretch up through left fingertips. Exhale, see if you can sink a little deeper into the front knee and twist through the upper body. Good, inner thighs squeezing in to provide that physical steadiness here. Reverse warrior, ground the back heel to the floor. This time, left hand comes to the back leg, right arm comes alongside the ear. Option to wrap left hand behind low back if you prefer. Big inhale, sink into right knee. Exhale, stretch through right fingertips to find more space through the right side body. Option to gaze down toward the outer edge of left foot here. Are you still breathing? Triangle, inhale, straighten the front leg. Begin to revolve the arms around, back of right hand to shin, or fingertips can touch the floor if you prefer. Reach left hand to sky, open up through the front body. Big breath in, pressing your hips forwards. Exhale, draw belly button to spine, lean upper body back slightly here. Try to ensure that your ribs aren't flaring out through the torso, keeping torso nice and compact. There's a sense that you're gently squeezing your heels towards one another to switch on through the inner thighs. Breathe in deeply. Exhale, lower top hand down toward the floor. Let's step the back foot in slightly, so finding more of a pyramid stance through the legs here. All 10 toes point straight ahead, both feet are grounded, and maybe the feet are about hip distance apart here. If floor is too far away, hands coming onto the front shin. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. If fingertips are grounded to the mat, you might want to walk your hands a little bit further toward your back foot and then see if you can curl your nose towards the front knee. Close the eyes. Check in with the hips. See if you can draw outer right hip back slightly and draw outer left hip forwards. Good. One more giant inhale into belly. Deep breath out. Inhale, turn your drishti to top of the mat, walk fingertips forwards, standing split again, lift the left leg high. Option to stay with your standing split, or perhaps see if you can take a bind here. Bend left knee, right hand comes up to take hold as you find your way into soldier pose variation. Maybe you're moving your drishti toward your belly button and taking your knee out of sight here. That way you'll know it's pointing directly up toward the ceiling. One more big inhale. Wherever you are, releasing the left foot down to the floor alongside the right, forward fold. Feeling into the right side of the body versus the left. Let's take that to the opposite side. So inhale, right leg high this time, standing split. So holding yourself here, feeling that steadiness through the left foot. Press your left heel into the mat, point the right toes toward the sky, almost like you're kicking your feet in opposite directions here. Big breaths in. Exhale, step the right toes down to the mat behind you, high lunge legs here. So front knee remains strongly bent, press through the front heel and reach the arms alongside your ears. Deep breath in. Exhale, this time it's the left hand which comes to touch the back of the right thigh. Inhale, stretch up through right fingertips. Exhale, twist and turn through your body. Have a sense that as you breathe in, you're lengthening through the crown of the head to create space through vertebra. On the exhale, you're twisting a little bit further. Good job. Inhale, finding our way to reverse warrior. Ground the back heel down to the floor, right hand to back leg, left arm alongside the ear. Big breath in, sink into your front knee. Exhale, stretch through left fingertips, finding as much space through the left side body as you can. Perhaps gazing down toward the outer edge of your back foot here. Take a moment, see if you can find a sense of stillness, steadiness in this posture. And then breathe in, straighten the front leg, triangle pose, revolving the arms all the way around. So left fingertips onto your shin, or maybe reaching for the floor, right arm sweeps up toward the sky, reaching through fingertips, so hands are really active here. Inhale to center of chest. Exhale, turn through the torso, perhaps turn your gaze up toward the top thumb, or it could be ahead or straight down. Soften your toes, make sure that you're not gripping the mat with the toes. Have a sense of squeezing the heels into the center line, switching on through the inner thighs here. Deep inhale. Exhale, lower right hand down to the mat, stepping our back foot in pyramid style legs. So the stance becomes a lot shorter. All 10 toes point straight ahead. Both feet are grounded down to the floor and your feet can be about hip distance apart here. If floor is far away, hands come onto the front shin. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold over your front leg. Good. Close the eyes. Think about the outer right hip drawing forwards here, outer left hip wrapping backwards. So both hips are square to the top edge of the mat. Option to walk the fingertips back towards your back foot if your hands are grounded down to the floor. So maybe your nose is drawing slightly closer toward the front knee. Deep breaths in, big breaths out. Good. Inhale, look toward the top edge of the mat, walk the hands forwards. Sweep the right leg high again, finding your way into standing split. Bend the right knee, open up through the hip, moving yourself into your soldier pose variation if you took it on the first side, left hand to right foot. From there, very slowly, again, see if you can find that steadiness in the body. Can you turn your drishti toward your belly button and then see if you can move your knee all the way out of sight? Observe those little wobbles through the body here. Observe them and see if you can find your steadiness. Well done. Gently release. Take your right foot down alongside your left, and then take the feet mat distance apart here. Turn the toes out and heels in. We're moving into malasana, yogic squat. So bend the knees, sit the bottom down toward the floor. Now this doesn't feel comfortable for everyone's knees and hips. So if it doesn't feel good for you, bakasana, soles of feet together and knees coming wide. Otherwise, nice big breaths here, drawing the thumbs to tap into the sternum, lengthening up nice and tall. Let's twist again. Left hand to floor, right arm to sky, reach up. So if you're in bakasana, you can do this too. If you're in your malasana and you wish to bind here, like we did in scandasana, right hand comes behind, reaching for left fingertips. Inhale to right shoulder, roll it back, open up through the chest, look up. And then coming back to center, hands moving to prayer position in front of the heart. Second side, right hand to floor this time, left arm to sky, big breath in, stretch up through top hand. On your exhale, you're wrapping the left hand back behind you, reaching for opposite fingertips. Breathe up into left shoulder, roll it back, finding that space through the front body. Excellent job. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Let's sit the bottom down to the floor and take the soles of the feet to the mat in front of us. Well done. Have the hands so that they're stacking roughly underneath your shoulders, fingertips pointing towards the direction of your toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, reverse tabletop, press down through soles of feet and lift up through the hips. So you want to try and make that tabletop shape with the body. Imagine that you could quite comfortably rest a cup of tea on your belly button here without it spilling. So the hips remain high. We're squeezing shoulder blades back and together. The chin is gently tucked in toward the chest. Another big breath in. And then exhale, release your seat down to the floor. Well done. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So making this single pigeon shape through the legs. Now you can either stay here stretching into outer right hip or move into a twist by taking the right arm across. See if you can bring the right elbow into the sole of your right foot and turn through your body here. Deep breaths in. Deep exhales, maybe you're coming slightly deeper. Good. Inhale, if you have the twist, come back to face forwards. Stretch the left leg out along the floor and bring the sole of the right foot down to the mat. Walk your left hand a little bit further in front. Now, option one for grasshopper is to keep the left heel on the ground, press the floor away and lift up through outer hip. Otherwise, you're reaching right hand to take hold of the ankle or the outer edge of the foot, rocking yourself forwards and then pressing the floor away to lift. 3 nice big breaths here. Keep the left leg super strong. Good, gently release the seat to the floor. Excellent work. Stretch your right leg out along the mat. Now, if that first tabletop position was enough for you, you bend the knees, soles of feet to floor, otherwise legs will stay extended this time. Fingertips point towards toes, big inhale. Exhale, press the mat away with the hands, lift up through the hips. So shoulder blades squeeze back and together. If your legs are extended, see if you can tap your big toes down to the floor, getting that nice extension through the front of the ankles as well. Good, for 3, 2, don't spill your cup of tea, and 1, gently release the bottom down to the mat. Excellent job. Bend the knees, soles of feet to floor. This time, left ankle comes over top of right thigh. So creating that figure 4, that single pigeon shape through the legs. And you can either stay here getting a really nice stretch into outer left hip, or you can twist. So bringing the left arm around, maybe you're hooking the left elbow into the sole of the left foot. Nice big breaths in. Exhale. If you're twisting, turn through the body, rolling right shoulder back. If you're in your single pigeon, think about sending left knee further forwards into space to find a deeper opening for the outer edge of your left hip. Good, one more deep inhale. Exhale, untwist, come to face the front and stretch your right leg out along the mat. I'll swivel round so that you can see. So on the second side, it's the sole of the left foot that comes down to the floor. Hands come down to the mat in front of you. So we're coming into our grasshopper. You can either press the mat away and come up onto the right heel. Otherwise, you're reaching left hand for the ankle or the outer edge of the foot. Deep inhale. Exhale, press the mat away, lift up. Looking ahead, breathing nice and deeply. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Gently release. Stretch your left leg out in front. Scoot yourself toward the top of the mat. Hands come behind the thighs. I'd like you to roll onto your back and draw the knees into your chest. Now we're going to do a 1 out of 2 out of 3, and we're going to come up to standing from here. So I want you to take a little rock forwards and back. 1, 2, and on the third round, plant the feet to the floor. See if you can come all the way up to standing in Tadasana. Well done. Excellent job. Big inhale, stretch the arms to the sky. Now exhale, soften through your knees, forward fold from here. Bottom is nice and high. Bring the palms of your hands flat to the floor. So you might need to bend the knees more if the hamstrings are tighter. Let's have a little look at crow pose this morning. So the hands are out in front. We're softening into the knees. Very, very important that we're looking forwards here. I'd like you to see if you can start to take your knees into your armpits. Now that's not going to be possible for everyone. You might have your knees kind of higher on the upper arms, but they can't be any lower than the elbows for obvious reasons. So the bottom remains high. There's a sense that you're hugging a beach ball in between the elbows here. And then just starting to turn, to take the weight forwards towards your fingertips. So it's not a jump here, it's simply transferring the weight into the hands and seeing, is it possible to lift one set of toes away from the floor? Is it possible to lift the other? And eventually, without any sense of jumping, you'll just be able to float the feet away from the floor. So it becomes a counterbalance here, rather than a sense of jumping in, of holding. Again, just finding that steadiness. See if you can do it. Nice deep breaths for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Release the feet down to the floor. Take your seat to the mat. Excellent job. Stretch your legs out in front. Now, if you do feel a bit rounded through the low back, sat flat to the floor, take a cushion, take a block, something underneath your seat for a little extra padding. Otherwise, keep your legs extending out in front and flex through your toes. Fingertips come down to the mat beside you. Inhale, lift up through your chest. Reach the arms above the head, find length through spine, and then exhale, forward fold over your legs. Reaching perhaps in the direction of the feet, but the hands can be on the floor here. If you can take hold of the feet, maybe again taking your first 2 fingers and thumbs, wrapping them around the big toes. Inhale, there's that sense of drawing the chest forwards, softening through the elbows, and taking your forward fold from here. Close your eyes. And tuck your chin gently to chest, back of the neck long. And start to observe your body again. So no judgment, no criticism. Just notice, are the feet active? Can you flex through the toes a little bit further? Can you pull up through the thighs? On the inhale, can you feel a sense of lengthening through the spine? And then on the exhale, are you able to maybe sink a little bit deeper? Reconnecting with that deep, strong breath as your means of finding that steadiness, finding that clarity of mind, that stillness of physical body. Good, breathe in, lift up through the chest, reach your fingertips forwards, and use the length of your exhale here to gently and slowly roll yourself all the way down onto your back. And once the back of your head and shoulders touch down to the floor, sweep the arms out so hands line up with the shoulders, and then bend both knees in toward the chest. Deep inhale. Exhale, lower both knees over to the right side. Keep the backs of your shoulders completely grounded into the floor here. If you wish to take this twist deeper, try to ensure that your knees are lining up with your belly button. Maybe see if you can take your right ankle and stack it on top of the outer edge of your left knee. You might be gazing toward the left hand. You could be looking straight up or just closing the eyes. You can give yourself this opportunity to really ground the back body into the floor. You're drawing up that sense of grounding from the earth, that sense of being connected and supported. Breathing in, come all the way back to center, both knees to chest, and then breathing out, knees toward the left this time. So the backs of your shoulders are grounded into the mat here, and you could cross the left ankle over the top of the right knee if that feels okay for you. Again, drishti might be towards your right hand, it might be straight up, you might be just closing the eyes. And see where that internal gaze naturally goes. Are you running off with your thoughts, or are you able to just observe what's going on physically or energetically? Inhale, come all the way back to the center, hugging knees into chest, interlace your hands over top of shins, big breath in. Exhale, curl your nose up to your knees, squeeze your tummy down, squeeze everything into the center line, take one more big breath, and then exhale, let everything fall out onto the mat, finding your way into final Shavasana. So give yourself a moment or two to get into that position. If you have a blanket, layers, something that you want to pop over yourself, feel free. And when you're ready, lying flat to the back, arms either alongside the body, or if it helps you to feel more connected with your breath, one hand resting on the center of your heart space and one hand resting on your belly. Ampada Drishti, inward gaze. Tune into your prana as it is right now. Tune into your energy. Notice whether there's quite a high vibration, perhaps bringing about feelings of anxiety, of feeling overwhelmed. Whether there's a bit of a slower, a bit of a stillness to that prana, bringing about feelings of relaxation, calm. And just accepting that whatever is going on for you right now is what is supposed to be going on for you right now. But in order to learn from this situation, we need to just observe. Just observe those feelings, those emotions, those sensations in the body. They are not us. We are separate from them. We can either choose to get involved and get caught up, or we can step back and choose, do we want to feel those emotions? Do we want to feel those sensations? Or do we want to take control of ourselves and choose to feel calmer, choose to feel more relaxed, or whatever quality that you wish to draw into your present state of mind? And I came across a quote yesterday, which is from somebody who's unknown, but I thought it was quite pertinent to the environment and the state that we're in globally right now. You may not be in a rhythm quite yet, but there is a rhythm to your heartbeat. And even in times of uncertainty, there is a steadiness there that you can cling on to. So if you have a little bit longer for your Shavasana this morning, please do feel free to stay exactly as you are. But if you are ready to make your way out, just start to, first off, allow the breath to become slightly deeper. And then when you feel ready to move, begin with just little movements in the fingers and the toes, just drawing that prana, drawing that energy back into the body slowly but surely. Maybe it manifests in some circles through the wrists and through the ankles. And then eventually reaching the arms above the head. So finding a full body stretch, legs lengthen out in front, reaching them away. And on your exhale, gently draw both knees into your chest, rock yourself over to one side, just pause there for a final moment. Taking an opportunity to soak in everything about your practice that nourished you and leave behind what didn't. In that ability to exercise non-attachment. And then find your way gradually, gently into your comfortable seat and allow your prayer hands to meet at your heart center as you arrive there. Bow chin to chest. Take a deep inhalation through the nose for Om. Allow your prayer hands to travel to the space between your third eye. Peace in your thoughts. Bring your prayer hands in front of your lips. Peace in your words and in front of your heart. Peace in your actions. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this practice today, and I really do look forward to seeing you again on the mat very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.